Hello and welcome to another Tricia's Cards and Crafts. This is Tricia speaking, and welcome to another one of my Simple to Stepped Up on Sundays. Today the stamp set I'm using is Peaceful Nativity because it's a Christmas card and it's Christmas, so why not use the Nativity? And I think I've used the For unto us a child is born and may his light shine in your heart throughout the year. So not everybody wants to send a religious card, but this has got beautiful little images on them, and well, why not? So this is why I'm making this one today. This is the card that I'm going to show you how I made. It's got the nice image on the front and the sentiment on the inside. I've decorated it with this, added the additional star because I think that's quite nice, especially when it's saying may his light. So we've got the stars and two on the envelope as well, and one on the back on the front. Okay, so that's what I'm going to make, and then I'll explain how I made this card afterwards, which is pretty much the same as the other one. Right, here's the card. Now I like to use out flat. Yeah, I'll use this side. Here we go. Right, so I'm using some Memento Tuxedo black ink and just ink up my stamp. Put this towards the bottom of the card, hopefully towards the middle. There we go. So that one's done. There we go. And then the sentiment. Here we go. That's come out nicely. And then for the star, I'm using some bumblebee ink. And I'm going to put it between the two, there, like that. I'm also going to put it on the inside here, and I'm going to put it on the envelope. So I'm going to put one top corner, oops, one on the bottom corner, and one on the back flap. There we go. So that's done. If I quick, I might be able to get this little knock off just gently. Yeah, that one. Well, I'll sort it out afterwards, I think. There we are. Anyway, so that's the envelope. And my sentiment is going to go on the inside as well. Finished with that one. So this one now. There we go. And this will go just underneath. There we go. Right, so done that. So now we can colour in the image on the front. Now I'm using markers. I think I might have got a little bit of black on my fingers. Right, so and I've used a selection of markers, Stampin' Right markers. For the skin tones it's very difficult, so I've used the petal pink. If you use, because I need to use markers rather than if I used the blender pens, it would have been easier to get a better skin tone, but if I used blender pens on the card, because I'm not using layers, it would go through to the other side, and I don't want it to show through, so that's why I'm not using marker pens. So I'm using the marker pens because they don't come through at all. Right, so for the hair I've used, so that was this one. For the skin I've used Petal Pink. This is Soft Suede for the hair. And I've also used it for the crook or stick. Or then for the wood I've used Crumb Cake, the wood on the crib. There we go. Then for Mary's clothes, this is Seaside Spray. To go with that, oh, just do the inside of her cuffs as well. There we go. And I've used Misty Moonlight. Just going with hopefully traditional sort of colours. Don't have to use these colours, you can use what colours you have, but being as I've got these, I thought I might as well make use of them. Make a nice traditional card. It is, the only trouble with this is slightly dark, and the actual marks from the stamp don't show through quite as well, but it's not a problem. Then I've used the Sahara Sand for Joseph's cloak. And I mean, the markers are nice because you don't want to use too much, because they will pale the card if you use too much. But I'm also using a fine line. I mean, you can fill in quite quickly with the brush tip. Just making sure I'm doing some of the hay with this Sahara Sand, and then for the hay I've also used a bit of the Bumblebee marker pen that I've got. Just to make it look more like straw or whatever. There we go. I did use a bit of the Seaside Spray on the baby's covering, just to make sure it stands out a bit more. And then I've also used some grey granite for Joseph's clothes, just to add the shadows to it, more or less where the lines are from the stamped image. There we go. And there's the image done. The only thing I did do, so that they don't look as though they're floating in the air, I've just added some more of the Sahara Sand underneath, just to give them some ground. Okay, so that's the colouring done, and the card is finished. So we've done the card and the envelope. There's the first one I did. And then for this one, I've used a 6x6 card, and I've used some paper from the Snowflake Splendor Designer Series paper, and they're all double-sided, and they've got some nice different patterns and things on them. And I've used, I don't know whether you can see them all, this paper here. It's got some nice sort of blues and different tones on it, and then there's that one as well. So those are the papers, and I quite liked it because it had some dark and some light colours, so I've used a piece of this. This is what's got on the back. So I just cut some of that to fit onto the card, and then I've used, just to make the card stand out a little bit more, I've used some gold foil, just a tiny margin around the outside, and I think it just finishes it off nicely. I don't really think you need much more than that, and because I don't really want to spoil it. So I hope you've enjoyed the card. Hope you'll have a go at maybe making some cards as well. Thank you for joining me today. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up below, and if you'd like to see more of my videos, you can subscribe to my channel. If you click on the little bell icon, you will then be notified when I post more videos. If you've got any questions or comments, you can leave them below in the comments, or you can email me at triciascardsandcrafts@yahoo.com. If you want any of the materials I've used today, not the 6x6 cards but everything else, you can find them on my online shop, and that is triciascardsandcrafts.stampinup.net. Okay, thanks very much for joining me again, and happy Christmas. Bye.